Hi everybody. I hope my phone is the right direction. Oh boy. Okay, well I'm just going to pretend like everything's cool with this phone situation and the camera angle and tell you that I am thrilled to be here. I am so excited I get to talk to you guys. I love this group, love Marissa, and think it's just the best resource ever. So thank you guys for taking a little bit of time to spend with me to learn about energy blocks. Now I know we're all holistic entrepreneurs. We all have a really good knowledge base of energy blocks. But I have spent the last few months really digging in because, like you, a lot of my clients complain about energy blocks. And I wanted to I just got really curious about it. What was I telling them, and what were other people saying, and all that kind of thing. So I have a little bit of notes, so I don't wander too far off topic, and we'll just get going. And I'll start by saying that I'm Heather McGuire, the Unconventional Intuitive. I work with businesses and individuals to help them really find clarity so they can move forward with confidence, trust themselves, and trust their decisions. And I love this work. There is nothing better, as you know, than seeing somebody shift into alignment. Seeing somebody let go of some old story, some old piece of something that they've been hanging on to. And, often rightly so. But when they're able to put that down and move forward more whole, that is just such a beautiful thing, right? Okay, and that's why I'm in this business, I think, really. Plus, it's cool and it's fun, and I love all things woo-woo. Okay, so specifically energy blocks, and why energy blocks? Because I am the kind of person that cannot stand not having a decision. I cannot stand not just thinking things over forever and ever and ever. I would rather make the wrong decision and go back and fix it, change it later, than not make a decision. And what I hear when people talk about their energy blocks a lot of the time is they drop into this real victim energy, this real helpless energy, because energy blocks are these subconscious beliefs that I can't even uncover them. I don't even know where they are. How do I get started? What does it mean? And you're helpless against these mysterious, immovable things, right? And that just triggers me. I can't take that. Quit the job, leave the relationship, move, whatever. And that's not always the best solution. That's not, it's not always the best solution. And I know that, and I've worked through that in my life, and I work through that with my clients, realizing that an internal shift can change your experience. You can stay in the same relationship, you can stay in the same job, and have a whole different experience when you're able to shift internally. So that's what this conversation is really about. And then the external changes that need to happen kind of find you. They almost fall into place. Not that there's not challenges, not that there's not tough things that need to be done. This is life. This is not for the faint of heart. But our paths get so much clearer. Our opportunities come to find us when we're in alignment. So that's what we're talking about. Where am I going here? I'm hosting a webinar on June 30th at 7 o'clock to talk about all this stuff. But I'm going to share a couple of the tools that we're going to cover in that webinar with you guys tonight. Okay. So a quick discussion of energy blocks. They're beliefs in our subconscious. They're usually virtually always relating to our self-worth, our sense of worthiness, and they inhibit us from being able to receive love, receive money, whatever our particular variety of of block may be. And we are told, and many people believe, that the only way to get past a block is to get to the bottom of it, to discover it, to understand it, to work through it. And with the work that we do, we know that there's value there. We know that there's value there. But we also know that that's not the only way around a block. That clarity comes from action. So taking action, whatever kind of action that is, whether that's working with, one of us, whether that's moving, leaving the job, whatever, taking action gives you information and provides you with clarity. So you don't have to sit and wait for the clarity to come and find you. You can do things that will help it all come together at the same time. Okay, so here's one of the things about energy blocks. They are essentially a self-fulfilling prophecy. They are an incredible manifestation tool, really, when you think about it, right? Someone came up with the word blocks and applied it to this situation that we all experience. And we can all relate, right? We've all been there where we just keep smashing into the same wall over and over and over. We come close, we almost get there, and crash and burn. We're in a new relationship, it feels really great, and then all of a sudden, bam, same old thing, right? We have all been there. That is part of life. That is part of our experience. And when we recognize the pattern, that word block fits perfectly because it feels like you smashed into some immovable thing. And most of us have a visual image in our mind of what our blocks are. I imagine a concrete barrier like in the middle of the highway, and I can see it perfectly, and I can feel it. I can feel myself running into it. I can feel the in my chest, and then the helplessness hits. Then that just, oh my God, I thought I had it this time, and I'll never get there, right? And just the drain that happens, and you just want to throw your hands up and walk away, and it takes a time to recoup your energy and say, okay, we can do this. We can do this, right? So because of all of those things, because we can feel it, because we can visualize it, because we believe in it, because we trust that it's true, all of those things make blocks this powerful manifestation tool. They become this self-fulfilling prophecy for being blocked. So what do we do about it? Because all of that is true, and we can also move past that. Right? So because this is a holistic entrepreneurs group, I wanted to talk about working with a client because I felt like that would be an applicable thing. And I know all of you have some amazing tools that you use, crystals and energy work and all of that. And all of that is amazing. I love it all. But we can all use more tools in our toolbox. So here's a couple things that I do with clients. Now, one client that I had, part of my work is I do this energy scan, and I even remotely, I imagine I'm running my hands around their body, my client's body, and if I'm in person, I run my hands through their energetic field. One client, when I was on her left arm, relationships, feminine side, I felt this pushing away, and in my mind's eye, saw a stop sign. And I felt her holding this stop sign out at arm's length, right? So we talked about it, and I said, you are such a outgoing, friendly person. You're so appealing. Like, people want to be with you. They want to know you. They want to spend time with you. But there's this stop sign for relationships, and I'm wondering, are you keeping people at arm's length? Are you stopping them before they can get too close? And that started a conversation about why and how she feels blocked around this, and her valid reasons for feeling that way and her life experiences around that. And so, eventually we explored some of that and we worked through some of that energetically, but simultaneously, these are a couple of the things that I had her do. The first is, I call it imagining you've got the new you suit in the closet, right? So first you got to build the new you suit. You got to sew it, and you sew it with your imagination and with your feeling, right? So I have my client imagine they're that person. So I had her go through the experience of imagining that she met someone. She had that feeling of pushing them away, of keeping them at arm's length, but she was the kind of person who would welcome them in. So even though there was a part of her who felt like keeping them at arm's length, she was now this new version of her, and she welcomed them in. And what did that feel like? And what did it feel like to be this person who let people come close? And we spent a good amount of time really visualizing this, building this muscle memory, this feeling memory within her. And when she had it really, really strongly, I said, okay, now we've sewn this new you suit. We're going to hang it up in the closet. You don't have to wear it all the time. It doesn't feel like you yet. It feels like a suit. Eventually, you're going to put that on and you're not going to want to take it off. It's going to feel like you, and it's going to feel great and comfortable. But for now, when you're wanting to be that new you, take that suit out and put it on. And then go out and meet people like that. And then have the conversation or write the email or pick up the phone, whatever it is, in that new you suit. And eventually, you're adding more and more details onto the suit. This is how this person handles this kind of situation. This is how this person responds to this. This is what this person likes about letting people close. This is how this kind of person draws boundaries and feels safe with people close, right? So she was able to really experiment with that. And because it was this new you suit that she could put on, it felt like play. So it felt so much more safe, right? And she was able to really embody this new person in this way that felt safe, in this way that felt playful. And she was able to evolve so much more rapidly. And through that process, eventually we were also working through some of her issues with her mom and her past and different things. But all of that was so much easier because she was also doing this other work simultaneously. Okay, so that's one tool, that new you suit that you can build. And let's see what I have for my second tool. Here we go. So gathering evidence. So this one is so simple and it works so amazingly. So you have this goal that you're trying to reach. You have this block that you keep slamming into, right? And you have all this frustration and all this belief that you're not going to be able to ever reach it. So what I like to do with my clients and with myself is imagine that this situation is like waiting for spring. And almost everybody I know, every spring when you go out, you start to watch for the little signs of spring, right? You see the little bulbs coming up. You see the little buds coming out on the tree. You hear more birds in the morning. You're watching for those signs of spring. And you have 100% trust that spring is coming. There's no doubt. You never doubt that spring is coming, even if all of a sudden it starts snowing again and gets really cold and crappy again. There's no panic. There's no, damn, I knew summer wouldn't come. I knew spring wouldn't make it, right? You know it's coming. So manifesting this new thing, reaching this goal, moving past your block is like going for a walk, watching for signs of spring. And the way you do it is you recognize the feeling within yourself. What does that goal feel like? What is it that you're trying to reach? What does it feel like? Okay, you get clear about that. Then every time you see it, anywhere, you recognize it. And I love having people keep a journal or take a picture and really, recording. So they're building this volume of evidence. And so if you are looking for, let's say, abundance, that's something a lot of us entrepreneurs, holistic entrepreneurs, are looking for abundance. Then we find examples of abundance and we document the crap out of them. We feel what it feels like. If we see someone who's in our wheelhouse, who's a reader, a healer, a Reiki practitioner, or whatever, and they're making a lot of money, we imagine, what would that feel like? Oh my God, right? And we call that feeling in, right? So that sign of spring is in their office, is in their practice, but we can feel it and we can record it. Okay, here's my evidence that my abundance is coming. It's possible. It's happening over there. And when we see it in any way, whether that's, an expensive car, someone wearing an expensive bag, whatever it is, for me, a lot of times, I remember the first time I went to Kripalu, and I had saved enough money from my business to be able to pay for my trip to Kripalu, and I felt so freaking great. I was so proud of myself. I felt like I had hit the jackpot and I had earned that money. And so that goes on my evidence list of abundance and of being an abundant, holistic entrepreneur. And as that evidence is building, what's happening is that your trust and your belief is shifting. You're not putting in hard work to make that happen. It's happening because you're gathering this evidence and you're seeing it happen. So those are my two tools that I really wanted to share with you guys, and I would love to hear your feedback and what you think about using these tools, and even what you use with your clients. We can all share our tips. And I see a few comments, but my phone is sideways. I'm hoping you guys didn't have to watch me sideways. You are sideways. Oh, damn. I'll see if I can turn the picture on edit. So sorry, everybody. But you guys are amazing. Thank you for the work that you do. It is so, so important. And I'm happy to be on this holistic entrepreneur journey with all of you. Bye.